So welcome everyone to the inaugural Fresh Eyes on CMIP Around the World virtual workshop. And so this is our attempt to really connect with the Fresh Eyes or the early career community who use and participate in the CMIP activities with the broad CMIP community. Like I introduced myself earlier, I am Dr. Rao, research scientist with North Carolina State University. I am the co-lead for the Fresh Eyes on CMIP group, which is part of the CMIP community as one of the task force for CMIP. So this workshop event happens throughout the day for almost 20 hours, trying to cover 3 different regions. We are kicking off the entire workshop series with the Asia and Oceania time zones, which is the specific group. And we will hand over to Europe and Africa region and then conclude the entire virtual workshop with the Americas region. So each region will have components about scientific talks, presentation from the CMIP, Fresh Eyes on CMIP project teams, as well as panel discussion with other CMIP community members, including how to stay engaged with CMIP and World Climate Research Program, and how to be part of those different activities, including participating in the CMIP activity, as well as other engagement like participating in the IPCC review process, etc. So we will also have the networking opportunities for everyone who are interested into meeting other people in the region, in other regions, as well as other CMIP community members. So before we got officially started, I just want to mention a few things on the housekeeping. So CMIP is part of the WCRP, and so we abide by the WCRP Code of Conduct. So we ask everyone to also abide by the WCRP Code of Conduct throughout the entire process of the workshop. And this workshop is being recorded for all those talks and presentations as well as panels, and the session will be uploaded to YouTube. If you do not wish to appear in the video recordings, so please do not turn your video on during the workshop. But the networking will not be recorded, so you can enjoy meeting with others with your camera on. So if you have specific questions, please raise your hand to ask questions. Or if you prefer, you can also write questions in the workshop Padlet, which is a link on the screen right here. We will also include the link in the chat later on. And as this event, it is a go across the entire globe, and be mindful of non-native English speakers. And so when speaking or asking questions, please use plain English language, being short and direct, and try to avoid any unnecessary jargons and acronyms. And with that, I will also do a brief introduction of CMIP, Fresh Eyes on CMIP. So since this is part of the events organized by Fresh Eyes on CMIP. So Fresh Eyes on CMIP is really focused around engaging with new users and early career researchers, which is a working group, a comprised of scientists, researchers, and practitioners early in the career, and really directly integrate the voices of ECRs and new users of CMIP through participation in the CMIP panel and task team meetings, and providing the opportunity for new voices into the decision-making and discussion in the CMIP. So the development of Fresh Eyes on CMIP has gone through a long process. It really launched during the EGU, European Geophysical Union, in 2023, with an open call for nominations after that. And we had our first cohort of Fresh Eyes on CMIP selected of 152 members from 25 countries, and in September 2023. And throughout 2024, there are different activities organized by the Fresh Eyes on CMIP, including scientific sessions during your EGU and the American Geophysical Union, as well as AOGS workshops, really trying to engage with different parts of the world on the CMIP, new users and early career users of CMIP. And there are different, right now, I believe there are 12 different projects organized within the Fresh Eyes on CMIP groups on events like, on topics like the CMIP statistics and responsible use of data and more. This year will mention more about projects, and you'll also see different presentations about CMIP, Fresh on CMIP later on in the day. And we want to engage with members across the world. There is a new structure for the Fresh Eyes on CMIP, really is project focused, where anyone can propose new projects that's under the Fresh Eyes on CMIP, which will get approved by CMIP panel, and they can move ahead. There are different ways for engaging. We have a strong focus on the capacity development and sense advancement for CMIP. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Aditya, talking about a little bit more about the projects from the Fresh Eyes.
Thanks, Douglas. Hello, everyone. My name's Aditya. I am a PhD student at the University of Melbourne and part of the Fresh Eyes initiative. And welcome from my behalf to everyone to this wonderful workshop. And hopefully all of you have a great workshop. And today I'm going to present to you a bit of an overview of what Fresh Eyes on CMIP projects look like, and encourage you to join existing projects or perhaps join the Fresh Eyes group and propose some of your own projects. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Okay. So one of the easiest ways of finding out what projects the Fresh Eyes on CMIP people are working on and how you can access the details about them is to just go on the WCRP CMIP website. And if you go to the Fresh Eyes on CMIP page, you will find that there is a link to all the Fresh Eyes projects. And the way the Fresh Eyes initiative is designed is there are two streams of Fresh Eyes. And the first stream is basically all the members that are part of the Fresh Eyes initiative and the Fresh Eyes directory. And you'll find links in the chat on how you can join the Fresh Eyes directory and the Fresh Eyes initiative. But then there's a second stream of Fresh Eyes members who actively float projects and work in a more engaged way with each other to help in different elements of the CMIP initiative going forward. And so if we scroll down further, you can see there is a list of current projects that are being floated and with the project status highlighted as well, and more information about who's working in the project and whether the projects are open for more people to join. And if you just click on this view larger version or here in open in a new tab, it takes you forward to this link where you can get a huge overview of all the main projects that are part of the Fresh Eyes initiative. So I'll just zoom in a bit here and highlight some of the current projects here and what they look like when you zoom in here. They're projects all the way from supporting the next cycle of CMIP, so CMIP 7 data request and data usage report for the past CMIP initiative, helping out with documentation for the CMIP initiative, and also more scientific projects like aggregating CMIP 6 data analysis tools, identifying and communicating major biases, model biases in CMIP 6, and using the forcing data set that is being generated for the next cycle of the CMIP 7 and trying to analyze the performance of the, assess the performance of these forcing data sets. So there are a ton of projects that are currently being floated, and you can see under each project, there's an active and a project open for sign up symbol, which basically suggests that you can just click on this project and go ahead and contact the contact points and get in touch with them on how you can perhaps become an active part of this project and engage with the team that is working on this to work on this project over the next month, over the cycle of the project. And you can see more details about the project here as well. So Douglas has, I think, added the link to this, and I would encourage all of you to take a look to these projects. And if you're not added to the Fresh Eyes directory, to consider adding yourself to the directory and playing a more engaged role in going forward in the CMIP initiative. That's all from me. I'll hand it over to you, Douglas.
Thanks, Aditya. I saw there was raised hand from Law. Do you have questions? Maybe, okay. If you have questions, please feel free to type in the chat or use the Padlet link there. And also, there are other project team members as well as Fresh Eyes group members throughout the entire workshop, and they can also provide more information about specific project. We also have project presentation across all 3 time zones about different projects that Fresh Eyes are working on. So please make sure to check out those projects in those sessions, as well as watching the recordings afterwards. And we will move on to our next components of the Asia and Oceania hub, which will be moderated by Ewan Lee, who is also a steering group member for the Fresh Eyes on CMIP.